My name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga-Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Methodist schools to undergo maintenance. Older drivers are more reckless. And 2 children die from dengue fever.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
33 Methodist schools around the country are in need of infrastructure maintenance. This was highlighted by Methodist Church President Dr. Tevita Mbainivanua while opening their education forum in Suva today. Sainani Mboila has more.
The deterioration of infrastructure in schools run by the Methodist Church is a concern.
We want to strengthen our schools that are left now with infrastructure, with other commitments that will help the enhancing of education, quality education in our schools. So I'm hopeful that after the 10 years committed for the decade of education, that these things will be materialized.
Dr. Mbanibano adds the church should act immediately to maintain the school's environment standard. Methodist Church Secretary for Education Waisake Ravatu says most of their schools need urgent attention.
We would all be in agreement. That's actually stated in our connectional plan statement. And up to now, we've just allowed our schools to fall, and they're in a state of disrepair. We agree. So this is part of the drive that we currently have. So 10 years to have a concerted effort with regard to this.
The Methodist Church currently operates 33 schools that comprises of 17 primary schools, 14 secondary schools and 2 vocational institutions. Methodist Church heads from Methodist schools around the country today met to discuss the way forward for the education systems in all the Methodist schools in Fiji. The meeting will end tomorrow. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Older drivers above the age of 30 are the most reckless motorists on our roads. This was revealed to FBC News by LTA's Chief Executive Carmen Piantadosi while highlighting the attitude of drivers as a major concern for the authority. Pranita Prakash has more.
Statistics indicate that young drivers tend to be more cautious on the roads.
Normally people that are new drivers and haven't been driving for a long time usually have less accidents because they're more cautious. The statistics that I've seen and repeat offenders that I've seen normally indicate that the age group is a bit higher. It's more around the 30 plus or 35 plus that are being served with infringement notice for speeding or being caught for speeding. So
more than 30,000 drivers have been issued with traffic infringement notices from January to date.
And when they get a license, there is a condition attached to the license that they need to respect all the road rules. And if you try to beat the system, which definitely you are trying to risk your life and risk the innocent people's life.
Piantadosi adds speeding remains the major cause of fatalities on our roads. 22 people have died in road accidents as a result of speeding. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
2 children and 4 adults have died from dengue fever within the first 8 months of this year. This was confirmed by National Advisor of Communicable Diseases Dr. Mike Kama, adding that nearly 2,400 cases was also recorded in this period. Anna Ravulo has more.
The National Advisor of Communicable Diseases says dengue cases dropped drastically after May. However, it still remains above the threshold.
that rate is a little bit high. We would expect, in any outbreak that it would be sitting between 10 to 12%. 14% is quite high, but that has come down as well.
Dr. Kama is advising the public that the outbreak has not been called off yet.
What was 100 to 120 cases a week from January to May
has come down drastically to now 20 to 30 cases in the last 4 weeks.
Dr. Kama says intervention activities needs to be ramped up and people should continue cleaning their environment as dengue is expected to rise again during warmer season. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
The second day of trial for the 16 people charged with sedition is building its momentum at the Lautoka High Court. The court heard that chiefs from Ra and Nandronga are alleged to have given their consent to the proposed Ra sovereign Christian state in 2014. Ropate Valeme has more.
It is alleged the same group of people that requested approval from the Ra chiefs also visited villages in Nandronga to get their consent on the proposed Ra sovereign Christian state. This was revealed at the caution interviews of 4 of the accused persons that were read by the third state witness police officer Vili Tatimbari. The court heard the people of Ra and Nandronga allegedly supported the 44 pages of the Ra Declaration of Independence, a document written by the proposed Attorney General Meroni Kerwin of the so-called rival government. Bari read out that in November 3, 2014, the first cabinet sitting of the proposed rival government was held at the Tuinaviti-level residence in Rakiraki. He added that at least 15 proposed cabinet ministers were inducted at this meeting. Accused Ulaya Situivoma said in a caution interview that they took oath and were blessed with anointed oil on their forehead with a reminder of the story of Ruth and Nehemiah's relationship from the Bible. The alleged swearing-in was supported by the people of Ra and Nandronga. The court further heard that the proposed new government was based on the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People 2007 and the ILO on Indigenous People. Tuivoma also blamed the British government in his caution interview for not giving back the sovereignty to the 14 chiefs in Fiji after independence. The defense lawyer argued that the first accused was not given his full constitutional right during the caution interview conducted by the police officers. This is the right to remain silent. Barry responded that he was just following the format of the questionnaire. The trial continues tomorrow. Ropate Valime, FBC News.
Still to come, Fijian National Day celebrated at 2017 Astana Expo. Taxi drivers warned that's coming up.
Moala rarada ranavika, o tikongona taunu singatoka, ando talisaka na wakaronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
Yado rasubuni kurnambili, iborani batukara hambara binaranga, do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na sere. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
Suva High Court Judge Justice Alesi Temo says a mentally impaired person who commits a crime cannot escape from the law, especially if the crime is as serious as murder. Judge Temo made this comment as defense counsel in the case of Levi Lino tried to prove in court that the accused is suffering from mental illness. Shireen Shivan reports.
Levi Lino is charged with 1 count of murder. He is alleged to have stabbed 42-year-old Ashwin Lal to death with a kitchen knife outside a shopping complex adjacent to Namotomoto village in Nandi in 2013. The defense claimed the accused was not in his right state of mind when the incident occurred 4 years ago. Physician Dr. Penny Bukoto was called in to testify the assessment done on the accused following the offense. Dr. Bukoto said the accused was suffering from mental illness and was on medication since 2011. He had shown lack of concern and anxiety when questioned by the doctor. However, the accused knew that inflicting someone with a knife is not acceptable. The doctor adds that during the time of the caution interview, the accused knew that the deceased was an Indo-Fijian, he knew the location of the incident and was also aware of the object used in the offence, which according to Dr. Bukoto should not be attributed to mental illness. The defence also filed a no case to answer. However, Judge Justice Alesi Temo ruled there is a case to answer, saying stabbing another person to relieve pain is not a form of mental illness. Justice Temo called the accused to give evidence. However, the defense counsel informed the court that Lino chose to remain silent, adding they will not call any witness to court. The defense will, however, give their closing submissions tomorrow. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
Fiji places a great deal of importance on the Natural Green Growth Framework, as the preservation of environment is our #1 priority. This was highlighted by Prime Minister Vurengem Bainimarama at the 2017 World Expo in Astana, Kazakhstan yesterday. Bainimarama led a Fijian delegation to celebrate Fijian National Day, showcasing our culture, history, trade and investment opportunities. With the Expo theme focusing on the promotion of green and clean energy, Prime Minister Vurengem Bainimarama said it was a great opportunity for Fiji to address the issue of climate change and renewable energy. Bainimarama says, as incoming president of COP23, we have made it clear to the world that no development in Fiji will be done unless it's environmentally sustainable. He says with Fiji being one of the top tourist destinations and a place to invest, the future of our nation and its economic prosperity still depends on the world taking decisive action on climate change. The taxi drivers are warned not to refuse the public from making short runs. LTA's Chief Executive Carmen Piantadosi says taxi drivers are public service drivers. Concerns have been raised by commuters that some taxi drivers refuse to take passengers on short runs. Piantadosi says this must stop.
If the public are asking for the service, then the taxi driver is meant to provide that service. And if the public aren't receiving the proper service, they can report that to the LTA. They can do that through text, or they can email us, or they can actually telephone our call centre and complain about that service.
The Hibiscus Festival has provided a platform for NGOs and ministries to raise awareness on environmental issues affecting the lives of Fijians. Many say this is also an opportunity for students on school break to learn about various organizations and career options. Vilimaina Nangelevuki reports.
These booths are attracting many young Fijians to be more consistent with their efforts in keeping the environment safe and resourceful.
People usually tell us, oh, we will never run out of fish. But you see, other countries in the world, like China, why are they coming to Fiji? Because they have lost theirs, and they're coming here to take what we have. And because we are also exporting.
The Hibiscus is a very good avenue in terms of advocating and disseminating information of what the Ministry of Environment does. People have been coming to question us in terms of career prospects.
These booths are a good divergent to inform students about environment issues aside from the fun, food and entertainment provided at the venue.
People can come around and visit anything, like there's different booths here, so it's really helpful to advocate more on what department or what careers they can follow.
This tent is full of NGOs and other organizations who are using the Hibiscus event as an avenue to address members of the public on issues that need attention. Vilimaina Nangelevuki, FBC News.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, Fiji Swimming has a new coach, but up next, Rachel with the latest in business.
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight, Damota car park fees explained. And in growing Fiji, our country keen to learn from Kazakhstan. Stay with us.
I'm another sort of of whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits. Gold
Welcome back. Leading business tonight. The newly introduced trial car park fees at Suva's Damota City Complex is not settling in well with customers. Concerns on unfair charges were raised to the Consumer Council of Fiji. However, owners claim this action is justifiable. Here's the full report. The Damota City Complex introduced a parking fee over the last week, claiming this action is to assist with congestion at the complex. However, the Consumer Council of Fiji claims the fees is just another avenue to make money.
The Damota City is an entertainment and a shopping complex, right? And car parks are generally provided by such complexes as part of their customer service. So that should not now turn into another revenue stream.
True intentions of bringing the paid car park systems, we were forced to bring it in due to the extreme, monstrous increase in car numbers, jams at all sides of the city, as you can see. So we had to bring some kind of measure in.
The council has suggested the company should make at least 1 hour free parking and charge $2 for every 4 hours of parking thereafter. Consumers with movie tickets should not pay for the parking, stating this would be a good gesture on the part of the company.
1 hour, although is not the reasonable amount of time for consumers to do their shopping, but it's a good compromise.
30 minutes free. That's a lot of time to do a lot of things in there. You come in, if you're just getting a paper, if you want to get 2 things, that's great.
The council adds the newly introduced car park fee is not only causing inconvenience to shoppers, but also heavy traffic congestion on the street never seen before.
What we meant about doing this parking is that there's a 1-month trial thing. And every 2 weeks we want to take the process of, if we need to change few things with the feedback, we tend to do that.
Demora City has made alteration to the fees and is now offering the first 30 minutes of parking as free. And now with a look at the money world, here's Savanada from HFC Bank.
Vinaka. The dollar opened weaker today after the release of minutes from the Federal Reserve's July meeting. It showed the policymakers had grown increasingly worried about the U.S. inflation readings, suggesting that the Fed may hold off on raising interest rates. The US dollar weakened by 33 points against our Fijian dollar today. A little closer to home, Australia released their employment figures this morning, which increased from 20,000 to 27,000. The Aussie dollar strengthened midday trading today after this release. Tomorrow morning, we have the initial jobless claims for the United States, which is expected to increase from 1.951 million to 1.953 million. That's the news from my end. Back to you, Rachel.
Thanks, Avanada. Looking at today's exchange rates and foreign currencies in the Fijian dollar. The Fijian dollar rose against the Chinese yuan and the American dollar to close at 3.30 and 49 cents respectively. While closer to home, the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollars weakened, closing at 62 cents and 67 cents, while the PNG Kina rose to close at 1.52. As for the commodities market, it was a mixed day as oil prices were down to close at 83 a barrel. Gold was up to close at 1,287 an ounce, and silver followed suit, closing at 17.17 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, Minister for Trade and Tourism Feaz Koya expressed a keen interest in learning from Kazakhstan's success in both the mining and organic farming sectors. On his visit along with Prime Minister Vorengi Bainimarama, Koya also spoke on trade and investment opportunities and a favorable investment climate that Fiji offers to foreign investors due to its position in the Pacific and a hub of development. And that's business this evening. Now to the latest in sports. Here's Jamie.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. In sports tonight, National Primary School Netball competition cancelled due to player safety concerns. And Singh finishes 25th on day 1 of Fiji International. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची FM सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची FM is number 1. It's so hot.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची FM सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची FM is hot.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची FM सुनते हैं। मिर्ची FM is hot. I love मिर्ची FM.
हमें स्पिन टोटो हुआ कि मिर्ची FM में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची FM, it's hot.
The Lewa Sewa Primary School's netball competition was called off yesterday afternoon. Due to continuous unfavorable weather conditions, the week-long event at the Suva Grammar School grounds were cancelled for the safety of the young players. Melita Vanga with the details.
The annual netball competition was called off after young netters sustained injuries due to poor ground conditions, while 3 others suffered from flu yesterday.
We had to take a girl to the hospital due to injury, and discussing with our contingent managers, because of the condition of the ground, the weather, we couldn't continue the games. And even if we have to continue today, we still will not finish the pool games.
The Fiji Primary Schools Association is now looking for an alternative venue to host the tournament next year.
All the problems that we faced during the tournament, the weather in Suva. So last night Sabu has come up and asked to host 2018 games.
Former Fiji netball coach Megan Simpson told FBC Sports she's ready to assist the association for the development of netball in the country.
You know, if there's opportunity to help out, sure, I'd love to help out, but I'm also very respectful of the process that's in place and the coaches that are in those positions at the moment.
FBC Sports raised the question on why the tournament was held in these conditions, as young girls were struggling in a muddy and rainy weather in the last 2 days. The ground conditions were not right at all to play netball. Melita Vanga, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Pearls will face world number 1 Australia at next year's Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast in potentially their toughest pool match. Fiji, who's ranked 7th in the world, has been drawn with Jamaica, South Africa, Barbados and Northern Ireland in Pool A. New Zealand tops Pool B with England, Malawi, Wales, Scotland and Uganda. Fijian golfer Vijay Singh completed the first round of the Fiji International at the Nathandola Bay Golf Course in Singatoka today. Singh carded 1 under par 72 and is currently 25th on the leaderboard. Here are his highlights from round 1.
Fairly shortly. Putt for Vijay.
They should move from his left to right a little bit. It falls towards the water here. Well, he's bending his knees there. He's willing that in, I think.
He is indeed. He had a bit of an elbow issue this morning. I'm not sure if he was close to pulling out. I don't think he would have done that.
In Europe, headed to the World event and then to the PGA Championships, and all but 1 round played very well.
I mean, look at that. You don't see that very often from a world-class golfer. Chipping with his left hand below his right, but he's been doing it for a while. Especially these lies are quite tight. Well, that came off nicely. That's very well judged. Vijay now. As I said, he had that elbow injury at the start of the round this morning.
Well, I think he got it yesterday afternoon counting his money. That's how you get it normally. He has to spend a bit of time there. Well, he wouldn't be happy with that. We've seen the struggles from Vijay with his putting over the years. A little slower greens, you can be a lot more aggressive. Aggressive lines.
So finishes up Vijay Singh. 1 under today, went out in 35 and back in 36. He would normally go to the range straight away. He's renowned for his work ethic.
Yeah, before the round started, if you told me to, take 1 under, I would, because it was supposed to be pretty breezy. But it kind of calmed down. As you can see, it's kind of consistent, probably 15 miles an hour wind. But the greens were better than I thought they were going to play. Yesterday was a little rough, but today, whatever they did, it's playing pretty solid.
It's been 15 years since Australia last won the Bledisloe Cup, and Fiji-born Wallaby centre Samu Kerevi wants to be part of the group that ends the drought. The Vodafone Secondary School Sevens tournament will host 50 teams in this year's competition. Event coordinator Napoleon Isilatolu says both girls and boys teams will be well represented at the tournament. Competition will kick off on Friday at the ANZ Stadium.
There are 10 girls teams and 40 boys teams. Yeah, 40 boys teams because they have the different grades, under 15, under 17, under 19.
The recent appointment of a high-performance coach for Fiji swimming is expected to further improve the standards of the sport in the country and the performance of Fijian swimmers at international events. Australian Mark Davis has joined Fiji Swimming and will spearhead its high-performance program. Chris and Rita Omanu reports.
Fiji can have the best swimmers in the region, but facilities is the main factor that hinders preparations for international meets.
I think it's just working with the coaches and the swimmers and the facilities. So
the main thing is we can get the kids to train at a really high level, and what we can do there is just improve the facilities, give them the opportunity to work hard, and just support them whenever we can. And
Fiji Swimming plans to create more awareness for young swimmers who represent our nation in the near future.
We're just here to provide the opportunity for them and create that culture so the kids in Fiji believe that they can train and compete against the best in the world, and there's no reason why they can't, and hopefully we'll be able to do that.
Fiji Sports Commission Chairman Peter Maisie has welcomed Davis as the new high-performance coach for Fiji Swimming.
National swimming coach has started and is actually down at the pool at the moment training all our young swimmers. They are doing amazing times. They're younger and preparing for the World Cup.
The inclusion of the new coach will be a major boost to Fiji Swimming, as this will boost their preparations for the upcoming Pacific Mini Games in Vanuatu later in the year. Krisanrita Aumanu, FBC Sports.
Real Madrid beat Barcelona 2-0 to complete a 5-1 victory on aggregate in the Spanish Super Cup this morning, dominating its fiercest rival without the need of Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale. And it was this absolute screamer from Marco Asensio that makes today's Player of the Day. That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather, and in the world of the weird and the wonderful, the story of an island warrior that's prepared for war against North Korea. That's coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera do talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and do moi viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko lang do talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kana do moi viti.
Kaya ko aga sila tale. Nagurara may naomani nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gabi na sabale po nagundurong. Barong na Radio Fiji 1 nando moi viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 nando moi viti na bonga ni BNN.
Nokia 8 smartphone takes bothy videos. The latest Nokia smartphone aims to popularize the idea of filming bothies. Now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Super beautiful day. Now that's what I'm going to call today's conditions. The sun was out with cool winds. Absolutely amazing. Let's take a quick look in the west. A bright start and a bright end. Enjoy while the sun's around. Eastwards from Pekhaba to Suva, a cool windy day with lots of sunshine. Rain has finally rolled away. And up in Vanuatu, sunshine was full on with high humidity level. At sea, south to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, high tide tonight will be at 8:29 with a low tide tomorrow morning at 3:05. The beautiful sunrise will be at 6:24. For tomorrow, who doesn't love Fridays? I'm quite overjoyed to let you know the weather will be all clear. Tomorrow's temps, Nandi, Lautoka and Lambasa will be warm with highs of 27. And looking further on to Saturday, fine sunny weather is expected to continue. And that, Jackie, wraps up our FBC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fijian Pulse today, we asked, should the Hibiscus Festival move to a more spacious venue next year?
Yeah, because here it's a bit congested, so it's better to find a place where people can freely move around and for the tent and store to be allocated.
They should move to the venue near town to ease traffic woes.
Yeah, I think it should. Because it's more convenient for the public, because here you have to catch 2 buses, but if you have to move it like to a most a closer area like Suva, it's just 1 bus and it's a big space, and you know, people might probably have fun in a wider space than here because it's more congested.
Ni I think it should be held somewhere else, because Laudalbe is too far. Some have to catch 2 buses to go to the festival. It should be moved closer to town.
In the world of the weird but not so wonderful, a self-styled island warrior in Guam has a plan in the event of a North Korean attack on his home. Recapping the main stories, Methodist schools to undergo maintenance, older drivers are more reckless, and 2 children die from dengue fever. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, are food prices expensive at the Hibiscus Festival? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day comes from Iniatuitonga. This was the sunset before departing Koro yesterday. The photo was taken from above the deck of the Lomaiviti Princess 3. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. Good night.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na radio Fiji 1 and Lomaiviti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko lang ndo tali taka na radio Fiji 1 and Lomaiviti.
Ayaw ko yago sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nando nga. Gitu tali tagi yang gitu Venezuela, nagunto rongo, barong na radio Fiji 1 and Lomaiviti.
Na radio Fiji 1 and Lomaiviti na bonga ni BNN.